No, broke even in the second half on the scoreboard. I think they might have been 1 point up in the second half. But similar message to last week, really. Second quarter, blown out of the water. They kicked 7 goals 7, I think, to 2 goals 3. So there was the game there and then. First quarter, I thought, we started all right. It was a pretty even contest, but second quarter we turned the footy over way too much by foot. Kicking efficiency was really poor, probably just over 50%. So we gave too many opportunities to them to counter attack off those turnovers in the middle of the ground, and they made us pay.
49 down at half time. What did you say, because the intensity seemed to lift markedly right from the first half?
Yeah, no, we similar to last week. At half time, we spoke about clearing their minds. Staying in the moment was a theme for the game. So whether we're 5 goals up or 5 goals down, just think about the process that we're trying to put into place. And to their credit, I think they came out, put all the junk from the second quarter away again, and put a pretty solid second half in. But still too many mistakes, which they gave them some easy goals. We missed some easy shots again, but overall they were too good.
You mentioned kicking efficiency already, but there seem to be a lot of instances with handball as well today that either handballs that went to the feet of a teammate, or when they did go to a teammate, it was one that was significantly under pressure and they got it.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. I think the way they spread really hard, and they spread then by foot. When they moved the footy, I think our spread was too close, and we were forced into handballing. So, yeah, some of the transition with handball, at the feet, just not good enough, against that sort of opposition, or any opposition, not AFL standard. So we need to work on ways of getting that better under pressure.
Were you encouraged by today, given the last couple of weeks they've copped hammerings? Today they at least rallied after half time, and they had a fairly good crack.
Yeah, no, I was pretty happy last week too. Once again, the second quarter, I think they kicked. Last week was similar. It was 70-point difference in the second quarter. So I thought 3 quarters last week were pretty good, and 3 quarters today. What I was happy with today, our contested possession was in the positive. Our scores from stoppages were around the mark. Previous to that, last 3 weeks we'd been really, really poor, and so West Coast, I think, third in the competition scoring from stoppages, and we basically broke even in that area. So that's something we've been working on, making sure that our structures around stoppages are better. And I think today was a pretty even result in that area. Once again, they got their scores from mid-turnovers, from our mistakes, but scores from stoppages pretty even.
West Coast got a pretty unique sort of forward structure. Were you happy with how well your players sort of took on each of them?
Yeah, they're certainly tall, so we had to restructure a bit. Steph Martin played a little bit more tall defence. I thought they battled away, but probably some of our transition out of there wasn't as slick as we want. But I thought they battled away pretty well.
So did you see that as something that you could use to your advantage? Once the ball went to ground, there's so many big bodies for them that you could be the first ones in there and could get it out.
Yeah, no, that was certainly a focus for us, that the tall marking options are only advantage if they're marking the footy, so get the ball to ground. But probably got to give them credit that they are tall, but guys like Kennedy and Darling, Lynch, they're pretty mobile and quick guys, so it's not as easy as you think. But I was pretty happy with the guys. They fought out of their height, but were pretty solid.
Did you have someone back protecting the first half and then took that loose player away in the third?
No, probably the second quarter we rolled someone down to try and slow the play down. But I think they were rolling some half forwards up, and then we got a spare off that. But we didn't have anyone behind the play in the first quarter.
Just the kids, Howe and Blees and those guys would be pretty thrilled with them.
Yeah, no, another couple of positives. Blees is a really exciting player. I think he's going to be a star. He's got a lot of work to do. His fitness has got to keep improving. His defensive aspect of his game and understanding the importance of structures. He'll keep working on those. But when he gets the ball, he's an excitement machine. And Howe, with that marking ability down forward is certainly why people will pay to come to the games, I think, to see those type of marks. But for me, what excites me is just as much as his defensive intent. We've been making that a focus of the last 2 weeks, that we want guys to try and work hard to try and turn the footy over. And in the forward line, they're a rare beast, forwards, to go for their marks and have that offensive part of their game, but to also value the defence. And I think he's one of those guys that's got the mix and will be a good player.
And just Davey, he's a beautiful kick. He had 6 short kicks and sort of went around second gear. What do you think of his game?
Yeah, Flash looks like he's still a little bit underdone. Was perhaps not moving as well as what we thought he might have moved, but he's missed. I think he missed 10 weeks with footy. Played one back at VFL level, and at this level these days you just don't get by with that. So it's going to be a bit of a program to try and build him up to speed with the physical requirements, because we know he's got the skill attributes to do it. But if you haven't got the physical base underneath you, the game's pretty hard.
And just Sylvia as well, that check side deep in the pocket and those sort of things, with a few instances like that.
Yeah, I have to look at the tape to see whether there was something he could have squared up to, but he was very quiet in the first half. Third quarter, I thought he was one of the players that helped us get us back in the game in the third quarter. He came alive, but certainly quiet in the first half.
What are you looking for the rest of the year? I think the finals might be pretty well out of the equation now. What are you hoping to achieve in the remaining couple of weeks?
Well, I think we're just trying to work through some of these fundamentals that we keep getting better. So today's stoppages was better. Our structures around stoppages was better. There's no doubt that our transition needs to be worked on this week to make sure we can maximise the hard work by moving the ball efficiently and not turn the ball over. So, if you want to handball through the middle of the ground, you're going to get yourself into trouble. So we've got to work out to get out and get a little bit more space, a little bit more width, and use the width of the ground to kick the ball a little bit more, I reckon. I mean, I saw Hawthorn play Port Adelaide yesterday, and even though Hawthorn were way in front, a couple of times they tried to use the handball too much in the middle of the ground, and Port still, they turned them over. So I think we're probably still using the ball by hand too much, particularly in the first quarter. I think it was nearly 1-to-1 kick handball efficiency. But towards the end of the game, I think that evened out, so we're going to work on that. So some of the transition, continue to work on our structures and our defensive intent, trying to get the ball back, work on systems to try and turn the ball over earlier. It's amazing their turnaround. Last year last, and this year they've turned it around and fighting for top 4 spots. So they're going really well. I just think it's a great story that you modify your game plan, you keep tinkering with it, you keep persisting, you keep positive, and things can turn around. So I think they're a great role model for us to keep looking at and working at.
Have they got a game style that can impact in the finals, do you think?
Absolutely. They've got their stars up and running. Which makes a huge difference. Last year they were mostly injured, but their stars are up, fit, firing, playing good footy. They've got some exciting young talent that have come into the game. Darling and Gaff are really good players. Shuey's gone to another level. So they've got the defensive game. Finals are about defence. I think defensively they're going as well as anyone at the moment.
Your last 3 games are against teams below you on the ladder. Is the bare minimum, I guess, winning all 3? Sort of give you seeing a pass mark?
No, that's regardless of where they're playing at, we'll attack the game on its merits. Richmond, I think, look like winning today, so we'll focus in on trying to win that one, trying to work on the things that we've identified from this week's game to get better at. And if we get on after that, we'll take it next week the same. We're not looking at 3 games, and we're not looking at the opposition being below us on the ladder. We're in not very exciting form at the moment, and we need to get back to some good form ourselves.